We got real-time action. Let's hear this poem.
It's a minute long.
Only thing matter right now is living right now, and I can't spare no feeling.
It's a YouTube release.
There's an album.
Excuse me?
He dropped the album? Hold up.
The money out here, young man, for a quarter in your hand, you'll die broke trying to play victim.
Surprise! Yep, on Friday at noon Eastern, Joe Budden and his crew found out in real time that Kendrick Lamar has dropped his 6th album, GNX.
12 songs.
Oh,
Reincarnated with love. My Gemini twin back power went up.
oh,
Wait, what is happening?
Oh,
we got a Kendrick Lamar album.
No more handshakes and hugs. The energy only circulate through us.
And while there had been rumblings about an album coming, it still caught everyone off guard, especially because he released it midday at noon. Because albums usually come out at midnight.
Go body for body, I hand you a body, I'm probably a better masseuse.
So with only 12 hours to rack up streams in that first day, it still debuted on Spotify with 44 million streams. That's very impressive. Then on day number 2, Kendrick dropped the first visual from the album,
Squabble up,
which is track number 2 on the album. With its first full 24-hour day, the streams increased to 74 million streams. And celebs were among those making sure that TV off, Kendrick on.
Hey, turn this TV off. Ain't with my type activities, then don't you get involved. Hey.
Busta Rhymes wrote, King Kendrick Lamar, such an incredible body of work, brilliance, and lyrical craftsmanship at its finest. Thank you for continuing to raise the bar. Snoop Dogg tweeted, K. New album GNX with explosive fire emoji and microphones and some musical notes. It was the edibles. Now what do we got? We got a smacking in the face, laughing fist, West King, and some fire, musical notes, and shooting star. There you go. Taraji P. Henson simply commented, yup, and a crown emoji on Kendrick's Instagram. On a global Spotify chart, the first single, Squabble Up, is at number 4, behind Luther featuring SZA, and just ahead of TV Off featuring Lefty Gunplay. Whacked Out Morals is also in the top 10, while Hey Now is just outside at number 12, which is fairly reflective of the track order of the album. Save the ones that have features, those always get a bump because the other artists on there.
I never lost who I am for a rap image. Here's motivation if you wonder how I did it.
Yeah, Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson gave a spin before their All the Smoke podcast.
He jamming. That's what kids do. I mean, I would never go against songs like that. You know what I'm saying? That's a show shot.
What I liked about the album too, and again, and I'm still studying it, but the Nas influence, the Pac influence, the lady he got from the Dodger game, and he put on maybe 6 LA guys that, obviously this is going to be their highest stream ever.
The stuff he was saying in it, is real deep.
Appreciating this body of work.
Take away the pain, I'll give you everything.
GNX's overall spins dropped on Sunday to 51 million, and then actually increased again on Monday to 55 million streams. With 3 more days to go, it's surely going to be one of the biggest streaming debuts of the year. As of yesterday, it's projected to move 290,000 units in its first week.
I'm way too important. I'm way too important.
Rolling Stone gave it 4 to 5, saying Kendrick caps a huge year with a victory lap. He embraces his dual identities of spiritualist and block thumper. The Guardian also gave it 4 to 5. Mark Lamont jumped on Joe Budden's podcast and gave it the same rating.
I like the album a lot. I didn't love it. If I was still giving mics at the source, I'd have gave it 4.
That's a pretty
That's
good.
a good rating.
Right, not at a 4.
Variety gave it 92 out of 100, calling GNX a meticulous, versatile, hard-hitting masterpiece. Enemy gave it 5 out of 5, 100 out of 100. GNX, turning hatred into a teachable moment. After a year full of scathing diss tracks and unfiltered loathing, Lamar converts that energy into the purest emotion of all, love, while carrying the West Coast on his back.
Truth be told, I've been battling myself, trying to navigate the rhythm's fake, cynical about the judgment day.
Haste gave it 9.1 out of 10. Kendrick Lamar reimagines rap's future and reckons with his past on GNX. The Compton Rapper's masterful 6th LP is a surreal, hypnotizing, danceable trip through hip-hop prophet's own ego death and immediate braggadocious finessing renewal. Okay. The West Coast LA Times gave it 9 out of 10, saying his writing and rapping on GNX are as razor sharp as they were in the brutal diss tracks he released one after another. The East Coast New York Times didn't like it as much, giving it 7 out of 10, writing, it all makes GNX less a coherent statement of purpose than a collection of approaches, a burning off of loose energy before something much more focused and contemplative. Called it the storm before the quiet. Consequence of Sound gives out grades. They gave it a B+, with the headline, burning down the industry with a reinvigorated competitive spirit. I let out an audible noise when I saw Pitchfork's rating. It was something like, whoa. When I saw that 6.6 out of 10, that shocked me. I skimmed through the review to try to find something to share with you to justify the rating, and yeah, they wrote, "Unfortunately, he's not worked up about anything worth caring about. He's mad at Snoop for finding Drake's AI Tupac song funny. He's mad at Lil Wayne for feeling snubbed that the Super Bowl didn't go to him. He's mad at the entire rap world because nobody congratulated him on booking the halftime show except Nas. Riveting. I'm all for airing out petty grievances in your raps, but when you're also chatting about saving the essence of hip-hop, there has to be something deeper at the root." Okay. Now for myself personally, in terms of, where you listen to more, the music or the lyrics, I find I'm more of a music person. Like, I really listen to the instrumentation, the layering, the production, the beat and stuff like that, as opposed to really honing in on the lyrics. Obviously I still love the lyrics, but yeah, just I find if you're going to choose one, I tend to go for the music more. And yeah, Pitchfork even criticizes that, saying that missing spirit is in the production, too clean and synthetic. I wouldn't have come up with those adjectives on my own, but I actually agree that the sound is very clean and synthetic, and I don't think that's a bad thing. That sound grabbed my attention because no other Kendrick album has sounded like this. Sure, you can make individual song comparisons, but as a whole body work, yeah, GNX sounds like nothing that Kendrick's done before. Of course, there's some samples from Luther and Tupac and SWV.
Nice to have money for big samples.
And even sampling is not something that we've seen Kendrick do a ton of, especially recognizable songs like that. Now, I would say I was engaged for tracks 1, 2, 3, and then this moment happened in track 4, Man at the Garden.
I deserve it all because it's mine. Tell me why you think you deserve the greatest of all time, motherfucker.
Kendrick had my full attention after that. There was another point where I made an audible noise. What was that noise they made? I think it was more like a...
I deserve it all.
But yeah, GNX is more of a mainstream, almost like party album than Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was. GNX more has individual hype tracks, but still works as a whole body of work. But then Mr. Morale was more of really a cohesive piece of art, really. But I will admit that as much as I love that album, and I did say this in my review, I didn't listen to Mr. Morale that much afterwards. But I do appreciate that album like crazy. So it's going to be interesting to see. GNX isn't as complex as Mr. Morale, but I'm interested to see if I end up listening to it more. But I'm going to give GNX an A-, and my standout tracks are Squabble Up, Man at the Garden, Reincarnated, TV Off, and GNX. What are your thoughts on Kendrick's surprise album?
Woke up looking for the broccoli. High key, keep a horn on me. That could my seat.